Okay, you are welcome to this 2022 Computer Studies Section B video. So, Section B, it's a section in computer studies where short answers are given. So, we are going to start looking at these questions. What are we waiting for? Let's dive in. Question 1. Dash is a type of memory. Dash is a type of memory which does not lose contents after switching a computer off. Okay, so there are main types of memory, but specifically, this question directs us to categorize them by looking at the RAM and also the ROM. We know that the RAM, it's a memory which is versatile. That is the best term that they use, or rather, it's temporary. So with the switches upon the computer switching on, memory which is there. So we also have the ROM, the read permanent. Even when a computer system switches off, that type of a memory, it still remains with content in it. Therefore, the answer here, it is ROM. Okay, ROM is the abbreviation for read-only memory. Read-only memory is a type of memory which does not lose contents after switching a computer off. Question 2. A button used to turn the computer on is called. A button used to turn the computer on is called. So there's a button on the computer which is like a 0, okay, and then there's also a 1 on it, like, okay, and then there's also a 1 on it like that, okay, a 0 and a 1 like that. This button on the computer system, it represents 0 and 1. We know that a computer system operates on two, only using it operates using binary numbers, so to say, which is machine language. And when we say a binary number, we are just talking about a combination of a 0 and a 1. So that button always have this symbol. This symbol represents a 0 and a 1. Those are bits. That is how a computer system operates. So this button is called a power button. Okay. Power button. A button used to turn the computer on is called power button. Okay. A power button. Power button. Go to question 3. You can always subscribe to my channel and also share. And if at all you need some tuitions, online tuitions, you can always contact me on 0970 53 16 34. 0970 53 16 34. Okay, question 3. Dash is a user interface where commands are typed. Dash is a user interface where commands where commands are typed. Where commands are typed in. Okay, so the question is saying dash. So the question is saying dash is a user interface where commands are typed in. There are quite a number of user interfaces, but the common ones are two. That is number one, the graphic user interface, where the user of the computer system will interact with the system using graphics. Those graphics, we are talking about the icons themselves. Okay. In other words, the graphical user interface, it uses what we call the WIM. WIM. The graphical user interface uses what we call the WIM. WIM stands for Windows Icon Menu Pull Down or Pull Up. Okay? WIM stands for Windows Icon Menu Pull Down Pull Up. Okay, now that is the first type of an interface, the graphical user interface. The other interface is called the command line user interface. Now, when computers were area generated or when they were invented, this command line user interface was the one which was mostly used to communicate with the computer by using what we call codes of texts. Okay, so for someone to use a computer, they must have known how to code. Okay, they must have known how to code. So if you had no idea of how programming, or rather the codes which were texts by then were used, then there was no need of you to know how to operate the computer. It was more of what we call machine language. Hence, the formation, or rather, the innovation where people came up with what we call the graphical user interface, which uses this, the WIM. Now, Dash is a user interface where commands are typed in. It's generally called the command line. Okay, command line. Space here. It's the command line user interface. The command line user interface. It is a type of interface where the user will use texts to command the computer on what it must do. Okay. So question 3. Sorry, question 4. Question 4. A private network that is only accessed. Private network that is only accessed by staff in an organization is known as dash. So a private network that is only accessed by staff in an organization is known as. So there are two common known types of networks. Okay, we have what we call an intranet and an extranet. An intranet, sorry, let me start with an extranet. An extranet is a public network. For example, internet. That is an extranet. It is accessed by any individual who wish, or rather who have got the gadgets to communicate or to connect to. That is what we call an extranet. But an intranet, okay, an intranet is a private network which is just accessed by the individuals within an organization. It cannot be shared by any other individual unless they are given the password to access that network. Okay, so question 5. Question 5. The central processing unit. It won't fit here. We'll create some more space. Okay, question 5. The central processing unit CPU of a computer processes data by dash comma comparing comma sorting comma and dash. Now, the central processing unit CPU processes data by dash, comparing, sorting, and dash. Now, the CPU, or rather the central processing unit of a computer, it composes a certain units in it, and those units we have the control unit as well as the arithmetic and logic unit. Now, the one which is referred as the CPU, it is because of the arithmetic and the logic unit. The arithmetic and the logic unit is the one which performs the actual processing of data into meaning information. Okay, so in this case, that arrow, this is the shortcut for arithmetic logic unit. Now, the arithmetic logic unit, it is a unit inside the central processing unit together with the control unit. But this is the major unit which is responsible for the actual calculations, or rather actual processing. So the way it operates, it's number one, calculates. Okay, so we say the central processing unit CPU processes data by calculating comma, comparing, comma, sorting, and merging. Okay, merging. So it processes data by calculating, comma, comparing, comma, sorting, and also merging. Okay, that is how the central processing unit of a computer system works. As simple as it is. As simple as it is. Okay. Number 6, the two suitable printers the two suitable printers for printing magazines for printing magazines and identity cards. Identity cards are dash and dash. Okay, now the types of printers are categorized into two major categories, but I'll not go in that direction. Okay, we just want the names of the printers which can be used to print magazines as well as the IDs. We have one, a laserjet printer. Laserjet. I don't know if others will say laserjet, but it's laserjet printer, as well as an ink laser and inkjet printer. Okay, an inkjet printer, it can be used to print the IDs, which are the ID. It's a type of an ID printer. Okay, the laser printer. Okay, and the inkjet printer. The laser printer and also the inkjet printer. Okay. Okay, so we are looking at question 7. Dash prevents a computer from losing documents. Dash prevents computers from losing documents being used. Documents being used. Documents being used in or when electricity suddenly cuts. Being used when electricity suddenly cuts. When electricity suddenly cuts. Okay. So, dash prevents computers from losing documents being used when electricity suddenly cuts. You are on the computer system and you are busy typing your schoolwork, your assignment, your exercise, your homework, whatever that you are doing, or maybe you are making a certain graphic using perhaps a Microsoft Word document. Okay, so you find that electricity suddenly goes and your computer doesn't even have the battery. So if it doesn't have the battery, it switches off. But how do you retrieve that information that you were working on? So we have what we call uh, uninterruptible. Okay, we have an interruptible. mm, Okay, this is just the short abbreviations of interruptible device. Okay, interruptible device. This interruptible power device, it is used to prevent the documents that are currently being used, so that when the computer suddenly switches off, you do not lose the document that you were working on. Okay, an interruptible power device. An interruptible power device. Okay, an interruptible power device. An interruptible power device. Okay, UPD. An interruptible power device. So that is the device that you can use to prevent the documents that you are currently working on when electricity suddenly cuts. Okay, so we can go on number 8. A file deleted by mistake can be found in the dash. A file deleted by mistake can be found in the dash. Here, without wasting time, any file which has been deleted by mistake, it can be found in a recycle bin. Recycle bin. Recycle bin of the computer. Wow. Okay. The question continues. Okay, so a file deleted by mistake can be found in the recycle bin, while a word deleted by mistake can be put back using, while a word deleted by mistake can be put back by dash button. Okay, by dash button. So when a file has been deleted by mistake, you can find it in the recycle bin. But if you delete a word, or rather a letter, by mistake, you can bring it back. By mistake, you can put it back by using the undo button. Okay, undo what you did. You are now commanding the computer to undo what you did yourself. So undo button. We go on question 8. We go on question 8. Okay. Question 8. Question 9 reads, dash refers to working on more than one program at a time. Dash refers to working on more than one program, at a time, one program at a time. Wow. Dash refers to a computer. Wow, at a time. Wow, dash refers to a computer that only allows one person, to have control of its resources. To have control of its resources. Okay. So dash refers to working on more than one program at a time, while dash refers to a computer that only allows one person to have control of its resources. So here we are going to say dash refers to working on more than one program, that is multitasking. Multitasking. So multitasking refers to working on more than one program at a time. Wow. Now here you can either say the PC, personal computer, or the desktop computer refers to a computer that only allows one person to have control of its resources. Here you can say desktop computer, or you can say PC. Okay, PC stands for personal computer. Now in an exam, you have to write this in full. Personal computer, PC. Okay, so this one was question 9. My phone is almost off that I'm using for the questions. So I'm going to read question 10 and give the answer. Okay, dash is a special effect that introduces slides in a PowerPoint presentation. Dash is a special effect that introduces slides in a PowerPoint presentation. So during PowerPoint presentation, when someone makes some slides, when you are presenting those slides that you have made, what effect is used to bring the next slide? If at all you have designed your presentation very well, using all the features that are there on the software. So what we are saying there is we have what we call a transition. That is a transition slide or slide transition. A slide transition, we are talking about uh, a feature in Microsoft PowerPoint which brings new slides after the previous slide has been presented. When you present one slide, it will enable you as the user or the presenter to bring the new slide. So this marks the end of my presentation today on this section B of 2022 question paper. I just remained with 5 questions because the questions went up to question 15. Okay, and I'm going to present this in my next video, as I will also tackle uh, 1, 2, or 3 questions of section C of the same 2022 past paper. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe and share.